Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since I have uploaded, but I am back today with my July plan with me. I'm sure I will not be the only person to do this theme this month, but I am doing a Stranger Things theme. I don't know how. We actually never watched any of them, and then when season 4 came out and I was seeing all the advertisements and seeing it all over social media, I decided to finally see what all the hype was about, and we watched all 4 seasons in like 2 weeks, and now we're just waiting on like the last couple episodes to come out. So I just really wanted to do a little Stranger Things theme, and so for the cover page I went pretty simple and just did the font of, you know, the logo from the title page, and then of course some string lights at the top from season 1. So I really loved the design from their Hellfire Club shirts, but it was a little beyond my drawing abilities. So I found somebody on Etsy that was selling the SVG of it, whatever you call that, and I cut it with my Cricut onto vinyl, and then I'm just gonna stick it onto my quote page over here. It worked surprisingly well. You'll see I have to add the C back in there because for whatever reason it just did not want to stick to my transfer paper. I really haven't worked with vinyl all that much. I mostly use my Cricut for stickers, so if y'all have any tips on how to be better at that, I would definitely appreciate it. And now I'm going to go back to my string lights and color in. I couldn't decide if the lights were red or pink, and I went with pink, and I probably should have done red, but I think it turned out all right anyway. And red really is not one of my favorite colors to work with, and you'll see that I do use it in some of the other spreads, so I think it worked out all right. I think you know that this is from Stranger Things, hopefully. Now moving on to my monthly spread, I'm going to keep this spread pretty simple like I normally do. Each calendar box is 5 dots wide and 6 dots tall. I found that this just works the best for me because it's not too big, but it gives me enough space to write like 1 or 2 things in each box, which I really only write holidays, birthdays, or big things like that. I'm not using it really for every little appointment or thing that's on the calendar, just the big things that I want to be able to look at and see what's going on for the month. For this header, I decided to just draw some more string lights and then write July underneath it. Like I said, keeping the monthly page pretty simple because I feel like the rest of my spreads are a little bit more elaborate this month than I've been doing recently. So I've been using the boxes on my calendar spreads to kind of track things with my shop and social media because I haven't really been using my other planners as much anymore. I've pretty much only been using my bullet journal, and this has really been working well for me lately. Now moving on to my dashboard spread. This spread took me so long, like longer than the cover page and the monthly page combined, and I'm really not happy with how it turns out. So I tried to do the same font again up here, but I didn't spend nearly as long tracing out all the letters, and so originally I wanted to just do them outlined like this, and when I got done I just kept looking at it and it wasn't doing it for me, so I filled it in and I still wasn't happy with how they looked. So after I do the whole thing, I go back and I outline it with black, and I feel like it helped it a little bit, but I'm still just, some of the letters are just a little bit wonky, so let's just pretend like they look better. But also remember that not everything is going to turn out perfectly every time. Just because you have a vision in your head, it might not work the same on paper, and that's okay. It's just a journal. It's really not the end of the world. I think people will see what I was going for, and that's okay. The fun part about my dashboard layouts is just picking all the different boxes that I want to draw. I just kind of fill in the space however I feel like it each month. Like, it's not necessarily a set, oh, this is going to be my to-do list over here and here's going to be my playlist. I just set up the boxes and I try to keep them different. Like, you don't want to have a bunch of the same boxes because then the spread just looks a little bit too put together and boring. So I just try to vary them a little bit, and then when I go back in, decorate them all a little bit differently. So I really wanted to include a doodle of a cassette somewhere in my setup this month because Running Up That Hill has been stuck in my head for the last 3 weeks. I mean, it's such a good song though. I'm not really mad about it. So yeah, I'm just drawing a little cassette down here for Kate Bush. But funny story is my first car actually had a cassette player. Which maybe doesn't sound that funny, but it was 2012, so it wasn't really easy to find cassettes, and I have to listen to music when I'm driving, so I would go to like thrift stores and try to find cassettes of different things that I liked, and then finally I found like a little cassette converter thing so that you can plug it into like an iPod or your phone, and that's what I did until eventually I got a car that had, an auxiliary cord and a CD player. But it was a fun time. I mean, I obviously had cassettes as a kid, but that's not really what I was gonna be jamming out to when I was driving around as a teenager. So the other thing I wanted to include was this little ad for Surfer Boy Pizza. I just love the logo for it. Like the two fonts together really are so cute. And then that was just the phone number that was on the side of the van that I'm pretty sure if you call, you get like a little message. But yeah, so this turned out really cute. Again, red is not my favorite color to use in my journal, so it's really unfortunate that a lot of the things and logos from the show are red. I think that's partly why I look at this spread and just wasn't crazy about it at the end, but it really did come together well. I just have to get over my fear of red. So I'm just going to go in and add a few more accent colors and details to try to make the spread come together a little bit more. At this point, it was still looking a little bit plain for me, so I decided to color in the cassette and then add a few borders to some of the boxes.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of water under the bridge.
Some of the old songs.
Yes, ma'am.
So as I'm finishing this spread up, that is going to be it for my July plan with me so far. You can follow me on Instagram to see the weekly spreads for the month. And I actually am on TikTok now, so if you want to follow me there, I will have both linked down below, and I will see y'all in my next video.